Hello there and welcome to the Python course. Now in this movie we will try to download, configure and try to make out some scripts in the Python as well. So we will try to download and configure our Eclipse. So here is a good thing to do. What you need to do is really simple. You need to visit the eclipse.org/downloads. Once you are on that, you need to double check that there is a Mac OS X is being selected. If not, just make a drop down and select your OS X. There is also a small warning out there with the recent change of Apple signature treatments and all of that, but you do not need to worry about. What you need to be worried about is which version of Eclipse you need to download. Although all of the versions are pretty much same with having some extra configurations for that. And in this case, what you need is a very simple Java developers. You don't need an EE developer, that's an enterprise edition. You don't need that. You need just Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Once you click on that, you can simply download from any resource being available. And once you have downloaded, you can simply close your browser. You do not need that anymore. Now, the file that you will download is going to be something like this, which is going to be a tar.gz file, which is kind of an archive, the one that you have seen in the Windows like rar or something like that. So it's just an extracted file. Okay, what you need to do is here is simply double click on this. And there is an inbuilt archive utility in the Mac that will extract the file. And you can see here is your Eclipse. And when I double click on this, notice that it says that Eclipse is an application downloaded from internet, but yes, I trust on that, so I'll open this up and it will take a couple of moments to open this up. Now make sure that before you open your Eclipse, your JDK is installed as I have discussed in the previous movie, so make sure that is there. After that, it will ask you for a workspace. Now in the later on movies, I have discussed quite a lot about the workspace, and workspace is just a folder where you keep all your configuration file as well as script file. So you can change it to anywhere or you can simply leave it default and check mark this, use this as a default and do not ask me again, because there are options by which you can configure the workspace later on within the Eclipse. Once you click on the OK, it will take a couple of moments to load the first instance of the Eclipse. Okay, so once you are here, you can simply close this or you can simply move to the workbench. Now the things are ready, but not yet completely ready. So what you need to do, right now you can see it is being made for the Java, but we do not need Java, we need Python to work on with. So click on the help menu and there will be an option for install new software. Once you click on that, there will be a big pop-up onto your screen, and what I would like to do is add a new site. So my site is pydev and the link for this is really simple. It's pydev.org, oops, a typo, org/updates. Now once you have typed this pydev.org/updates, click on the OK and there will be option that will be saying as pending. Now, depending on the internet speeds, it will take a couple of moments for the first time. So let's wait for it. It is not going to take that much of time. Now, in the meantime, I would like to discuss a couple of features about the Eclipse. Now, it is not at all compulsory that you always use Eclipse for writing the Python script. You can even use your simple, let's say, command line terminal or any other editor for writing the Python script. You just need a command line access for running the scripts. And here we see that we have got Python and Mylin integration. My internet is right now working very slow due to the weather conditions. I'll check mark this. And if you want to fast process your all kind of installation, make sure that you uncheck this. That says contact all update sites during installation. Now this sometimes makes things a bit more slow, so make sure that you uncheck that. But if you have a free time and you want everything to go with a proper format, just check mark this. And if you find any problem with my method, just make sure that you check mark this and again try that back. Also, we do not need the Mylin integration. Once I click on this, look how fast it is right now. So this is all the installed details. You can double check that and I'll click on the next. Notice that it asks me for the license agreement. I'll accept the license agreement and click on the finish. Now here it will try to install the software. Right now it's really working very fast, but it's not always the case. And at the bottom of the Eclipse, it will show you the percentage of how much it has installed. Right now it says around 36%, but it might be slow depending on your internet speed as well as the server responding speed of the PyDave. Now, once it will install, it will in the meantime ask you, do you trust these certificates? Now, this is the point where most of the people make mistakes because you need to accept and trust on these certificates. So once I click on that, I'll click on OK. And now it trusts on the certificate and will only continue installation and will work fine if you select that. Now it says Eclipse needs to be restart, and yes, there is no good reason to not to do that. So we'll click on yes. And also in the meantime, if you like all of your things just properly placed, just like me, you can place this icon into your application folders, just like all of the Mac people like to do. So in the meantime, try to do that. And once I'm on to back, now notice again, we are into the Java perspective. It's not being selected for the Python. So I'll go on to the Windows. There is a menu called Perspective, and there is an open perspective. Now right now it says debug in Java, no option for the Python. So I'll click on the other and I'll select my PyDave and I'll click on the OK. Now the things are looking good. You can see the PyDave is here and everything out here. Now let's create a new project out here, and you can simply drop down and create a PyDave project that we need to do. Also, you can place this inside a source folder, but right now I'll just move bit quick and click on PyDave project, and I'll name my project something, and let's do the honorary thing of hello. And you can see that there is an error, project interpreter not specified, and also the grammar version is 2.7, and that's good for us. We need 2.7 only. And click on this use default for the live space, but we need to configure interpreter before we can actually proceed. So I'll click on this and I'll click on the manual configuration, although you can select for the quick auto config and all that, but I'll try to demonstrate a bit more things. So once I'm into the interpreter thing, I'll like to click on this quick auto config. Once I do that, notice the Python is being automatically find. If not, you can click on the new and write this path, which is /usr/bin/python. Also, there is a command where is space Python that you can go for at your command prompt terminal. I'll click on the apply and it will take just a couple of seconds to do so. And then I click on OK. Now you can see the things are actually done and I can click on my finish. Now, once I click on the finish, it will take a couple of seconds because it is configuring the paths and all of that. Once I click on this, you can see the interpreter is being loaded up. So I can right click on this, click on the new, and I can click on the new file. Let's do the honorary thing of hello.py. Make sure that extension is there because it is really important. I'll click on the finish. And there are a couple of things that says uncheck settings that should not be changed and all of that. But don't worry about that. We have done that actually explicitly because we want to do that. So click on OK just and click on the finish. And here is the supported Python documentation. You actually have to read it and make sure that you also read it because it's a not very lengthy documentation. Just click on the read it. Okay, what we need to do first of all, yes, you guessed it right. We need to actually print hello world. And if it is really tough to see, what I'll do, I'll zoom. Right now in this case, I'll zoom, but you can go into the preferences and can move up font a bit so that it's good and nice and easy onto your eyes. And I'll do a customary hello world. And once I save this, you can press Command S to save this, I need to run this project. So you can see there is a button that says run. I'll click on the run and I'll run this as a Python run. I'll click on OK. And you can see the console has popped up and it says hello world. So everything looks good so far. Let's try to make an error as well so that we can verify that it's working really fine. I'll move this semicolon. I'll press Command S and okay, immediately the Python has noticed the error, but if I try to run this, you can see there is an error which says EOL while scanning that says end of line simply because it doesn't find where the line is actually ending. So I'll put this one and press Command S and you can try to run that again. So see how it was simple to do configurations of Eclipse for the Python. I hope now you can proceed and really do some great stuff that I have taught in the later on video section. So best of luck from my side. If any problem, don't hesitate to actually talk to me. Report that in the forum and I'll do what I can do.